Alrighty, so I had a team suggestion that I thought was very, very interesting in the sense that I'm using Gloxinia's Commandment on Meliodas. And so the idea here, I didn't really want to use Gother. I thought about using Valentine's Deanne, but the idea is I pretty much need to go first, and I need to try to kill off their enemy Escanor because there's more than likely going to be one, because it cannot be stat lowered. So the idea is I can probably rank up my own Escanor, and then double attack into their Escanor, kill their Escanor off, hopefully, and then we should be able to see the Gloxinia Commandment sort of take shape while we're, fighting them. So if you don't know, let me open up Gloxinia really quick just to give you the small refresher course here. His commandment is decreases attack-related stats of the heroes who use 2 or more skills in one turn by 30% for 2 turns in PvP. So because Meliodas can take the commandment of a character that he has as a link, we're going to be using that. I think it's a really cool concept. I feel like there's not the craziest use cases when it comes to using Meli's commandment stuff. Obviously, the notable ones are, using either Zeldra's commandment or the Monspeak commandment to make sure they can't move for Arthur's passive and stuff like that. But I don't really see people use that anymore. So we're just going to go in, see how things go. We do get double rank up here, but I don't think I'm going to need double rank up. He does have True Awakened, which has me a little scared, but I'm not actually sure if that's going to matter or not. So let's go ahead and rank up. We are going to use the AoE into the single target and see if we can kill off. Oh, man. 241 with evasion food is pretty impressive, I have to say. I definitely did not think that he was running evasion food. I figured it was just maybe like a little bit lower CC. But that is quite impressive. So I assume he's going to use his Escanor cards as well. That's probably the biggest issue with this team, is that Escanor can't be stat lowered. So if I don't get rid of their Escanor turn 1, then he doesn't get affected by the commandment, and then now I'm in a reverse roll where he's going to kill my Escanor off. Not great. It may be a little bit of a double-edged sword here. I do have... Okay, no, I don't have any debuffs on, actually, so I guess we're just going to have to rank up. I guess, actually, I can use this. Well, no, I would have to use a melee card first, right? So I can throw this out, upgrade the melee to... Well, I think it's... I'd have to do it like that if I wanted to cleanse it off. I guess it's not even a big deal if I cleanse it off. That's probably a really stupid play. Sorry, I'm kind of getting used to this team as I'm going, but me having that buff on probably would have been beneficial, because then I would have cleansed it off and got my all creation next turn, so I don't need to do that, actually. Anyways, he now has 3 orbs on his melee, and his Escanor is still alive, so not good. I'm pretty much cooked here, I think. Okay, his melee's not doing that big a damage yet. He might end up getting all creation here, though. Okay, AoE, that's going to burn off some more HP. Oh, wow. Okay, that did a lot more than I was expecting. AoE. Okay, we live this turn. I still don't have any debuffs, which is very, very unfortunate. I guess we go for... Let's double lower him, and then try to kill off the melee. Hopefully we can get some decent damage out here. Kill off his melee. It is going to give him 20% attack related. There's no way this doesn't kill. Okay, yeah, I was about to say. I mean, he doesn't have all creation, and all creation does make the world of difference with this character, but I'm probably cooked if I had to guess. We do get Gother's ultimate, so maybe he'll have to shift focus, but I'm not going to get my hopes up on that, because I don't think he's used his Gother either, so he could probably just ult gauge removal. Or he might just go lots of Escanor cards and try to just kill him off instead. Here's another AoE. This one's going to hurt, because melee has the flame on. Yeah, just killed melee off. I do have Tarmiel Link, but... Okay, single target onto Merlin. And then I think his last card was a Gother one, which is probably a D rank. Or an ult removal, so it didn't really matter either way. Oh no. I love that happens. Okay, anyway, couple of kinks there that I need to work out in my own head, but I'm it's something. All right, what is the enemy team looking like? Okay, same setup, 245. See, now I'm scared. Now I'm scared that I don't know whether or not he's going to be running evasion food or not. We're going to go ahead and throw the level 3 out because, yeah, I guess it'll just do extra damage to the enemy. Obviously, I can't be stat lowered, so hopefully this isn't evasion. Okay, nice. No evasion this time. That'll bust into the second half of his health bar. This should kill. I mean, level 3. Nice. Okay. They're pretty low as well. And we'll have to see kind of how they retaliate on their turn. But, I mean, so I would assume in a situation like this, it would probably be best to just, like, rank up melee, maybe double melee card. But because the Sins team is not very debuff related anymore, it's not uncommon to not be able to get your melee stacks anymore, which is... I thought was going to be a big deal that you could run Escanor and melee together, but like this factor alone, like people aren't really running Bond because of Gother. It's really making it not too bad. So that is nice. Okay, so he is going to double attack with melee. So this first attack is an AoE, and it does some okay damage, but he gets the attack-related stat lower, and 30% is pretty substantial. So I'm able to live that, which is very nice. I do think that would have killed me if I had not had the commandment there. Okay, so we have another single target. I do have... I think we throw something like this out. Maybe it would have been better to use the single target with melee there, but okay, never mind. I think he's going to die regardless. I was going to say we attack with Escanor, we attack with Gother, so that way nobody gets lowered, because I don't have 2 Escanor cards, and then I could gain my last stack needed on melee. But at this point, his 2 supports probably aren't going to be able to come back, so I should be fine. So either way, little bit better use case this time. That evasion food actually did throw me off quite a bit on that first match. But let's do one more ungeared, and then we'll try it geared like I've been doing. Okay, back in, same setup. Everybody is running the triple UR team. It is not uncommon. He had 250. I would be... Well, I mean, he does have full True Awakened. Maybe he has, like, pretty high box CC or, like, more dupes than I do. I'm not sure. But I would be very surprised if this was evasion food. So, should be able to kill Escanor off no problem here. Depending on the ult level, this might actually be not the greatest turn 1. Because, if they have higher ult, I will take a big burst damage, from Escanor dying. So, let's see. And, okay, that was actually pretty substantial. So, he did have a pretty high ult. That would probably explain his 250 CC without having evasion and everything. So, we do have another rank up. We only have 1 Escanor card, but it should be pretty good. He's going to double attack me here. Maybe he just takes my Escanor out? I do still have the damage cap for, like, a little bit of HP. I think that's probably low enough. He does stat lower himself, not enough damage, type disadvantage as well with that as well, so that's very, very nice. And the fact that I'm putting on the attack-related stat lower is also kind of nice in this scenario because of the fact that I am able to put that attack-related stat lower on myself, which is a red debuff. Melee will cleanse it off for at least one small bit of his passive, give me an orb on that scenario, so that's kind of nice. I'll disable myself this turn, which I did double attack with him, so he would potentially stay, debuffed. But I think because I had gotten more than 1 orb there, I think that I would have been at 3 orbs, which means that the cleanse would have like full cleansed and gave me all creation. So the debuff actually kind of comes in handy a little bit. It's not going to be like a huge game changer, but could come in clutch in some scenarios. Let's move over to geared PvP and see if this team kind of like still does as well. I know that attack related and everything is kind of big, but not sure with gear. Alrighty, first geared match. What do we got? Same team we've been fighting. I have to say, I did get a comment, I think it was this morning, saying, or it was either this morning or yesterday morning, saying that like this is the only team that he's been facing, and I completely understand. It is definitely making the meta pretty boring. We did get Percival's patch notes this morning, and I'm not super sure how much he's actually going to affect the meta. The fact that he's literally using the same specific allies as the Escanor, where it sins and humans, I don't think that the meta is necessarily going to shift that much. Like, people are still going to most likely be using the same teams. Whether or not they're using Percival over Merlin, I'm not too sure yet, but we're probably still going to see the Sins team in first place, Human team in second place, which means that the meta's probably not actually going to be shifting much, which is going to be a little unfortunate. So, Wild, unfortunately, is also a very gimmicky unit. Like, he's just helping out Oslo, or Hawk and Oslo units, which means that he's more than likely going to be pretty useless. So that kind of sucks, but I guess it just kind of is what it is. So let's go with this. I'm going to end up attack-related stat lowering myself, unfortunately. I could just go for the double AoE here to gain stacks, and then we can ult gauge drain the Gother. I have to say that's my one actual gripe with Escanor, is that he puts on these flames underneath the characters. I cannot tell whether a unit has their ultimate or not unless I look up at their hand. That is, I mean, it's not like the biggest thing in the world, but it is kind of annoying, because if I wasn't, you know, paying attention too much there, which, I mean, I guess you're supposed to be paying attention because it's PvP, but, you know, stuff happens. I would definitely drop the ball on that if I wasn't looking up there. Okay, what do we got? Back at it again, alright. Okay. There it is. See, that's another thing, is that this team has stupid high CC and kill potential turn 1 that, like, I'm not gonna blame anybody for quitting, because, I mean, realistically, you know, if he has, like, a lower level Escanor, for example, and he knows that he's not gonna get a whole lot of damage off from him dying, I can basically just get rid of Escanor for free turn 1, and there's no real repercussions to it, and then he can't get debuffs for his melee, the match falls apart. It's not like a guaranteed win, but it's pretty darn close, which is really disappointing. Alright, insta-loading on this one. Could be a bot, which actually might not be that bad, considering I do want to actually play one out instead of getting 2 forfeits in a row. So let's go ahead and just do our typical turn 1 here. Get rid of the Escanor, so that way we don't have to worry about him. And then we'll stat lower ourselves, but it's not actually stat lowering. He does have full True Awakened, which is nice. Pretty good damage there from the AoE, burning off some HP from the other characters. Easily kills off the Escanor. I'm not really... like, the fact that he has a Grace, and the fact that he has that damage cap, but you can't use Tarmia Link on him, like, really... it's really dumb. Like, it literally just is, you go first, your Escanor lives, kind of thing, which is very unfortunate. And if they're running Merlin in the backline, like a lot of people are probably going to be, more than likely, you know, their Merlin's going to come down. Any attacks that they do put debuffs on you, and then your melee gets built up. So it's kind of like a double whammy in the sense that, you know, you're going to be in a really tough spot. It's kind of bad for, you know, the person going second, like doubly so, which is very unfortunate. So we do pull 2 Escanor cards here, so we might as well attack with him because we won't get stat lowered. So, ooh, good damage there. This is probably gonna, yeah, this is definitely gonna kill him off. Might potentially kill Gother if the extra damage lands on him. Boom. Ah, went on to the Liz. That's fine. And then we have to ult drain because he was gonna pull his ultimate there. Almost killed the Liz. She was really close. So. Yeah, I don't know. I actually think that the team is pretty cool. Like, I like the idea behind it a lot, actually. I like the fact that melee actually gets use out of the commandments and stuff is really nice, because a lot of these commandment units are pretty old, outdated, not really good. And unfortunately, with a lot of the LRs that they've been doing recently, they are not really living up to the hype. So it kind of falls short in some aspects. Like, I would not get the same performance, of course, if I was running Gloxinia on the field. Plus, you know, melee's a sin, so, you know, Gloxinia is not a sin or a human, so Escanor's passive wouldn't be getting used as much there. And, like, there's just a little bit more synergy using melee, of course, and yeah, like I said, the LRs are not super exciting, unfortunately, like they should be. But either way, I think it's a cool team. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I cannot remember who suggested this. Let me look really quick because I don't want to go unnoticed. Okay, so the comment is actually from Nario5227. He says you should try to go second and dodge with dodge and Gloxinia Commandment. I definitely forgot to do the go second part. Could have actually been pretty interesting, but unfortunately, I think if you don't go first, they're just going to double attack with their Escanor, and then you're in like a reverse situation where he doesn't get stat lowered and they kill off your Escanor turn 1, and then you're kind of stuck dealing with the commandment. So I do think that going first is probably a bit better. I maybe should have tried to go second a little bit with that, but either way, we're going to call it there. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys later.